This may be where the action takes place most Saturdays, but the process of serving meals ministry is much more than it appears. It begins Friday night.
So who else is bringing food tomorrow?
Well, I'm preparing 80 servings.
Wow.
And then there are a couple other couples that are bringing 60 servings. So we should have enough to feed 130, or at least give some extras to someone who doesn't have groceries for the week.
Awesome. Well, I signed up for fruit and I got oranges, enough for 40, so I'm assuming that you have enough other people to sign up for fruit as well.
We have 2 other people bringing fruit, so that'll make 120 servings total.
Right. And then desserts are all filled up as well?
Actually, I think this month we might be on the plus side for dessert.
Well, this will be an exciting meal to give, especially on a nice fall day. It'll be a great casserole to hand out.
It is, and it's so hearty. There's so much protein in it.
That's
So it's
awesome.
a good balanced meal. There's the sausage we cooked last night. Let's put that back.
In addition to the food preparation that took place on Friday night, the work continues Saturday morning. The meals are cooked by many volunteers across the Charlotte and Rock Hill areas to be delivered hot before the ministry begins. Some volunteers arrive bringing food, be it the main dish, desserts, fruit, or other items. They have the option to stay and help distribute, or to simply donate. Others come without food, but willing to serve others.
Knock and ask them if they want a meal. We're serving meals. We basically ask them if they have any prayers, if there's anything we can do for them. I think Lisa actually wants to ask now if there's anything that they need going into fall, if there's something they need in terms of winter clothing or anything of that. We're just asking if there's anything that they could use, and then we'll see what we can, we're not promising anything, but we're going to do whatever we can to fulfill those needs where possible. We come back to the vehicles with how many food orders are placed. Whoever's serving the food, which is usually me, we then serve the meals up. They are redelivered back to the door, and we move on. And any prayer requests that people have, we've got books that we record those in, so it's just passed around to everybody at the end, and we just come together that way. They know we're coming. Nothing out of the ordinary for them. So they're served every weekend. Every Saturday there is someone involved with serving. We have 1 weekend a month, but the other 3 are covered. The 5 weekend month, that's the one that's left over.
Our church
Nope.
covers
No. This is not even really church-based. We have multi-churches that have been involved in this. It basically sets up from serving we did 2.5 years ago. There was a ice cream social that was done, and one of our servers ran into a person that was in a hurry, said he was on his way to work, didn't have time, and then when he found out the ice cream they were bringing was vanilla, wasn't his favorite, so he had no desire to stick around. Her style is not normal to, I don't want to say pushy, but she felt led to do more than just offer him ice cream and go away. So she finally pushed him enough, not letting him leave, almost kind of deterring his leaving, to find out what kind of ice cream he wanted. And I believe at that point it was, now I forgot what kind of ice cream it was. The ice cream he preferred was, I think it was butter pecan, if I remember right. She told him she would be back in about 10 minutes if he could wait. She left, went and bought a pint of butter pecan ice cream, delivered it to him, and he was already late for work at that point, so he said he would put it in the freezer and enjoy it when he came back from work. That was really the event of the serving. I mean, this was an ice cream social day where they were serving ice cream around, and nothing more ever really came of that. we saw this person on a regular basis. Every month we would come to serve. He would usually come out. Whatever condition he was in, he would come out to the street and meet with us, talk with us. And he was always welcoming, and nothing more was ever said. I believe 6 months ago from now, somewhere in that vicinity, we met with them, and this turned into, there were 3 grown men there. And we always ask during serving, do you want, can we pray for you? Is there anything we can do? And they asked, could we pray right then and there? So there was a circle of probably 6 or 7 people with these 3 grown men standing hand to hand in the street praying. And when the prayer was ended, the guys quickly turned around and said, okay, thank you for coming, it's time for you guys to go, do what you gotta do. The women left. There were a few guys that stayed back talking to them. And when these guys turned back around to see 3 grown men in tears, was moving in itself. To see these guys just standing there, in the conditions they were, just basically fully teared up, sent the women away. One guy pulled me aside and we started talking after that a little bit further. And he continued to share things, and he goes, that girl right there leaving, he goes, that's my angel. He goes, whenever she's here, I'll come out to the street. He goes, she changed my life forever. She doesn't know this, I've never told anyone. And this is, 2 years later after this event happened. What he proceeded to tell me was, that morning that he was in a rush, he was not necessarily in a rush to get to work. He had a gun in his vehicle, and he was headed to his ex-wife's house and her new boyfriend to kill them both. That was where he was headed. He had severe hate in his heart that day. He was, all intents and purposes, going out to change 3 people's lives. The 2 people he was going to kill in his own. Due to a pint of ice cream, he found love that day from someone just randomly stopping in and helping him, that his life was changed. He never shared that with anyone. He finally shared it to us, and he said, he goes, that is my angel. And because whenever she's around, I don't care how drunk I am or whatever the purpose it is, if she's on the street, I will come out to see her and say hi. Because he goes, that changed my life forever and showed me that someone as angry as me with nothing to live for, there's still someone there that has good to offer. And he said, and that changed it. And that will stick with me for the rest of my life. So, that's kind of what I see is, we may go out there and serve a meal, and to us it's like, okay, you're praying for people, you're serving a meal, and if you just look at that on the surface, there's nothing really going on beyond that. But what's happening behind the scenes that we may never know, are changing people's lives. And that's the reason we're doing it.